welcome back. It's finally time to get back into Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. If you do happen to be watching this on YouTube, this is most likely part 3 of the series. Other parts will be listed in a playlist or probably in your recommended somewhere off to the side. I very much appreciate you coming by and clicking on this video. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right back into some Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. And where we last left off, we saved the Justice Minister from his heartbroken heart attack, so to speak. We're still trying to save Detective Jode from his not so great fate that he has lined up for himself. So let's see if we can save him along with Lynn and anyone else who may be caught up in this weird crossfire that's going on all throughout this very short span of a single night in this one game. The Justice Minister's daughter has been abducted. The kidnappers demand the execution of the death row prisoner Jode to be carried out tonight. Lynn says the execution is a mistake, and I believe her. And so I'm paying the kidnappers' hideout a visit to see what I can find out about the abduction.
Your instinct was right, Beauty, my dear. They had that restaurant surrounded. It took me forever to shake them, and now my poor bike is ready for the scrap heap.
Be a little more gentle with our valuable hostage, please.
Yes, always keep a smile on a lady's face, right, my dear?
I'm going out for a breath of fresh air. You're on guard duty.
All right, I'll dream of you until you return.
Why don't you open the trunk for our guest?
I will, Beauty. I was just taking a little breather. All right, little lady. Let me open that trunk for you. Beauty.
I don't think I've ever been to this room before, but something about it is giving me a strange sense of deja vu. We most certainly have seen this before. This was in the previous room where Lynn got freaking Looney Tune death trapped. Let's see what we can do here. I'm assuming I need to make this burn and... well, wait. Is that going to cause a chain reaction? Oh, okay, that works. I expected a catastrophe. How does that work? Oh, there is a spin faster. Ah, there's something else I can do here. Ah, that is exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Just my imagination.
The shelf is suspended by very thin cords. They look like they're about to break. I'd bet it'd be quite a spectacle if it fell. If something can break, it kind of makes me want to break it. Cecil is a menace. I wonder what happens if I make this spin faster. Hey, there we go. Hey, let's go. Okay, so now that that's done, I believe we need to light the streamers on fire. And then that'll end up burning the cord or cable that is holding up that clock. Is going to make the clock slide off and probably hit that crate under it where the daughter is inside. There we go. It did not hit it, but it woke the dude up.
Chill. Gosh, my imagination sure is rampant tonight.
Now we can reach the trunk and actually open it ourselves. Oh, what in the... what's going on here? This little lady is... is this little lady really a daughter of the Justice Minister? What's with the fun book and juice?
Like I said, always keep a smile on a lady's face. I wanted to treat our guests well.
How about treating me well? I'd like some bread and milk, please.
At your service, my dear. Be back in a flash.
Hey, mister?
Yes, cute little lady? More juice, perhaps. All you have to do is ask.
Have I been kidnapped.
Don't cry, little dear. There's nothing to be afraid of. The surroundings are miserable and filthy, I know, but we just ask for a little bit of patience.
Don't say those awful things about this house.
Huh?
This house is where I used to live.
I apologize, little lady. I'm the one who's miserable and filthy. Forgive me. What's the meaning of this, Beauty? Why here, at this girl's old house?
Don't ask me. It was the other party in our deal who chose this location.
Oh, I see.
It's been empty for 5 years, and apparently nobody ever comes here. But never mind that. What about my bread and milk?
Oh, of course. Now you be a good girl while I'm gone.
I want to go home.
Not quite yet. What in the world? Why does the little lady have a core of the dead? When I helped out at Lynn's apartment, she didn't have one. So that must mean she must have died sometime after that. And that also means someone else must have saved her. I better ask her what happened.
Who's there? Oh, wait a minute. Is that you, Missile? Missile!
I'm sorry. I'm not Missile. My name's Cecil.
Cecil? My name is Camilla.
So it is her. I knew it.
What is this place?
I can hardly tell the poor little thing this is the land of the dead.
The land of the dead? Does that mean I'm dead?
Nah, I forgot there are no secrets in the ghost world. You can relax. You're not dead. But this isn't the first time you've been here, apparently.
Really? I don't remember. Wait a minute. Maybe I do remember. Sort of.
It looks like she doesn't remember being saved very well. So there's some other dead person out there with special powers, eh? Anyway, I don't want to press her if she doesn't remember dying. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about something else?
Sure. Go ahead, sissy.
Sissy,
Lynn asked me to do something for her tonight.
She asked you to go to the chicken kitchen on Dead End Drive, right?
Yeah, but I never got there. Now I wish I could say I'm sorry to her. I never should have gone through that park.
Is that where the kidnappers grabbed you?
Yeah. Lynn always said, I don't like that park. Scary things happen there. What am I gonna do? Lynn's gonna be so mad.
She is. How come?
Because I left it there. The music box in the park.
That's right! The music box!
That music box was hidden in the apartment. I finally found it with a little bit of luck and courage. Guess where it was?
I don't know. Where? I'll pretend I don't know.
You don't have to humor me.
Oops. So, what happened to the music box?
I hid it in the bushes at the park just before it happened.
Just before? Oh, just before you were kidnapped, huh?
I didn't want the bad man to take it. So, I hid it. I bet it's still there in the park.
You did well. So, the music box is in the park. I better let Lynn know. So, this is your old house?
Yep, this is where we lived until 5 years ago. But now I live with Lynn and Missile.
Lynn is like a big sister to you, isn't she?
Yep, she's a detective. You know, she's a hero.
Ha! She is, huh? By the way, about your father. Is he the Justice Minister?
My father is gone.
Gone? Maybe he passed away?
No, that's not it. My dad. He's going to die. And it's all because of me.
But what? What do you mean because of me? Why would you say that?
It's called an execution. My dad is a detective.
No way. Don't tell me your father is Detective Jode.
That's right.
What in the world?
5 years ago, something really bad happened. Like a scary dream, but it wasn't really a dream.
5 years ago. That murder case.
It was Mom's birthday that day. My mom and dad were working, and I was home by myself. But then I had an idea. I was going to surprise my mom. I set up that contraption.
Oh, dude, no way! No way. Are you serious? Oh my god. No way. Camilla killed her mom by accident. Oh my god. Dude, I am absolutely so surprised by that, actually. Like, I'm not even kidding. No way. Oh my god, what a fucking twist, man. Holy shoot.
I still can't believe it happened. It wasn't supposed to work like that.
I know that contraption. And I know how it was supposed to work.
My dad told me not to tell anybody. But I wanted to tell everybody it was my fault.
This got dark fast. It did, dude. I was not expecting that at all. I just can't tell her. I can't tell her why she was kidnapped.
Why was I kidnapped? I want to know.
Oops. Maybe we better stop talking. It's too dangerous.
You're not going to talk to me anymore?
I think we better get you out of here first. We can talk more after that.
Okay, but...
I'm going to rescue you now. You just hold on a little longer, okay?
Okay, but we'll talk later, right? And don't forget, you promised!
What took you so long?
I traveled the entire town in search of the finest bread and milk for you, my dear. But it's late, and all the shops are closed.
We're leaving this place right now.
What? But he's not here yet. We have to run around doing all this extra work, all for the sake of his deal.
Be quiet. It can't be helped. This place is too dangerous. I told you, my sixth sense is very strong. I feel it. I sense something here in this room. Is somebody there? Can you hear me? Is she talking to me? I can sense your presence, you know. The next time I sense you, this child will die. Remember that. All right, we're leaving.
Pardon me, little lady.
Okay. I get to see what page of Mother Goose she left off on. Wow. What a chapter, dude. Holy cow. Okay. I told Lynn what I had found out about the kidnapping. That it wasn't the Justice Minister's daughter who had been abducted. That the kidnappers had been holed up in Camilla's old house. And that they sensed my presence and were already gone. The poor girl, kidnapped for the ransom of her own father's execution. It's just too much. It's a cruel twist of fate, I agree. And then there are those other twists too. Like the kidnappers winding up in and using Camilla's old house as their hideout, and them sensing my presence. They seem to know about the powers of the dead.
I told you before, Detective. I want you to stand back.
Who cares about distance at a time like this? Look, Mr. Minister, it wasn't your daughter that was kidnapped. Don't try to pretend you didn't hear what we were saying.
Ah! How can I believe in you? I'm a realist.
If you don't believe what we say, see for yourself. Just call home and...
I tried calling 100 times. My wife won't answer, and I'm being watched. I can't have the police go check for me. Besides, if the execution isn't carried out tonight, the hostage will be killed. What difference does it make that it's not my daughter?
Oh no, it's oh my god, it's Cabanella.
Miss me, baby.
Inspector Cabanella.
Hey, I have a little report for you, Mr. Minister. The escaped prisoner has been apprehended. Thought you might like to see him, so here he is.
Detective Jode, I'm sorry. I tried. I know that you're innocent. I just can't prove it.
Lynn, please, don't apologize to me. The beautiful love between a teacher and a student. It brings a tear to my eye.
You knew, didn't you, Inspector Cabanella, that the execution was tonight?
I don't believe I had any obligation to tell you.
And you're fine with this? I mean, you know as well as I do. Detective Joad could never have done such a thing.
Oh, come on now, baby. I know no such thing.
Huh?
I know 2 things to be true, and 2 things only. 1, he was given the death penalty. And 2, he tried to escape. What else could I do but haul him in, baby?
If that's the case, why did you bring him here?
Whatever do you mean, young lady?
He escaped from prison, right? So why didn't you just take him back to the prison? I think you only brought him here to brag about your accomplishment. Isn't that right, Inspector? For your own selfish reasons? So are all those rumors about you true? That the only thing you care about is a spotless record? Is that more important than saving a friend?
Everybody has certain principles they can't go back on, including me. You'll understand that someday, baby. I'm a death row inmate who escaped from prison. This is how it should be. My poor Amelie! Is she alright?
Actually, the girl who was kidnapped is named Camilla.
Why is the dream talking to me in my head again?
Wait a minute. Amelie? Could that be the Amelie next door? Yes, I think so. Wow, I didn't know the Justice Minister lived next door.
No, not me. My wife. It's complicated.
Yeah, I bet it would be pretty hard to admit she left him. According to what I heard, Amelie was supposed to go to some sort of lesson tonight. Those horrible kidnappers, they were lying in wait for her. But Amelie didn't go out after all. She couldn't. She had a fever. And so the kidnappers grabbed Camilla by mistake instead? Amelie and Camilla are about the same age. The kidnappers must have gotten the 2 of them mixed up. If I hadn't asked Camilla to do that errand for me, this never would have happened. Oh, right. You asked her to bring the music box.
So, Mr. Ghost, we meet again. I hear something happened? Something about a kidnapping?
Some kidnappers are saying they abducted the Justice Minister's daughter.
That's terrible. What's their demand?
The carrying out of your execution tonight.
I had no idea I was so hated. But the minister doesn't have to worry. I die and it's all over. Very simple.
It's not that simple.
Why not?
Because it isn't really the minister's daughter that got kidnapped. It's Camilla.
What? Camilla?
I checked it out for myself. I'm positive.
No, it can't be!
And by the way, Camilla did tell me something very interesting. She said the one who killed her mother 5 years ago. It was Camilla herself. What? What are you talking about?
Don't listen to him! I'm the one who shot her! I'm the one who shot Alma! And when I'm executed tonight, that will be the end of it. Camilla, she won't have to suffer anymore after tonight.
For a capable detective, you say some incredibly misguided things.
Ugh.
You dying isn't going to end that girl's suffering. The only person's pain this execution is going to ease is yours. Is it true? What Camilla said? Why don't you tell us what you know?
To be honest, I still don't understand what happened that day. It was my wife Alma's birthday. We came home from work, and she went in first.
Mom!
What was that noise? I looked for the shooter, but there was nobody to be found. There was nobody there besides Alma and Camilla. Just the 2 of them.
The little lady's mother died right in front of her. Oh my, that's so horrible.
Camilla told me about it. She was crying. She said the contraption she made did something it wasn't supposed to. It made an impossible move.
An impossible move?
Camilla was a quiet little girl, but she was good with her hands. She was a little genius in making elaborate toys and contraptions, but there were 2 very strange points about that contraption.
The first was, of course, the firing of that gun.
Right, that was an antique gun I'd had on display for years. And the only other strange point was the movement of that Cupid. It was supposed to shoot its arrow without turning around. Somebody made a change to the contraption's design, and then manipulated it. I didn't have time to think things through then. All I knew is that I had to protect Camilla. I made a small adjustment to the scene and turned myself in.
What kind of adjustment?
The gun, of course.
The gun, huh? Come to think of it. There was no gun there. Just a picture hanging on the wall.
Of course not. Because I had secretly switched the gun out of that frame with the picture. I didn't believe what she told me about her contraption. But one thing was for certain. That gun was still smoking. I hid the gun before I went to the police.
You hid it?
I put it in a wooden box and gave it to a certain detective. And that detective still thinks it's a music box.
So that's what's inside the box?
I got a different murder weapon ready to give to the police. My own pistol, and I did a few other things to make it look good. I won't go into details. When I was all done, I turned myself in. It's been 5 years since then. I stopped thinking about it. But tonight you showed up and gave me an explanation I never would have thought of before.
The powers of the dead, right?
That day in that room, powers that I didn't understand were at work. And if that's the case, it clears up all the mysteries.
Maybe not all. There are a couple of other people who know about these powers.
This is no ordinary kidnapping. It looks like my wife's case isn't coming to an end after all. I'm the only one who thought it was.
Detective Jode. There's still time before dawn. A little, anyway. How about you see this case through to the end before you die? Detective Jode, is what you just told us now true?
Yes, of course.
In that case, there's still time.
Still time?
You didn't do it, Detective Jode. And of course, little Camilla didn't do it either. So the true perpetrator is still out there. And I'm going to prove it. For Camilla's sake.
That sounds wonderful.
Thank you, Detective Jode.
Lynn, where's that music box now?
In Timsic Park. Camilla left it there.
That gun is important evidence. You better go pick it up.
Yes, sir. I'll go right now. Cecil, take care of Detective Jode. And do something about the kidnapping, so we can get the minister on our side. And yet again, I say, easy enough for you to say.
What's going on? Deal me the deal, Mr. Death Row inmate. A little change in plans. My daughter has been kidnapped. I can't go off tonight without doing something. But you're in our custody! Don't forget. Back at the prison, everybody's waiting for you. With a very special seat just for you, baby. And I guess we better prove my innocence on the double. On the double, is it? You sound so determined, my old friend. I want to save Camilla in more ways than one, and that's all there is to it. I see, my old friend, in more ways than one. What say you, Mr. Minister? May we have your decision? Should the execution be carried out tonight as planned, or shall we hold off and wait for this important evidence to come in? Ah! The order still stands! Bring the prisoner back immediately and resume its enforcement. As you wish, Your Excellency. Please don't bow down to me, and especially not alone. In that case, can I have one of your boys arrange a prison van to pick him up? Would you be so kind?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, baby. The van should be about 10 minutes, I'm guessing. Your escape tonight was brilliant, by the way. Will you show me another miracle in these last few minutes of yours, Mr. Death Row inmate?
I'm glad to see Detective Jodes all fired up now, but I feel like I'm under the gun here. Even if Lynn does come through with the proof of Jode's innocence, it'll be meaningless if Jode or Camilla dies. I've got to do something about that kidnapping somehow. Maybe I should ask for some advice from the capable detective here.
Most likely the minister won't stop the execution. Not as long as there's any small chance his daughter is the one who's kidnapped.
But she isn't the one! I'm sure of it!
Well, it would be great if we could prove that to the minister.
I doubt his wife is ever going to answer that phone if we call from there.
If we call from here. Right. But a telephone works in both directions.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is, only family members can solve a family problem. I have to admit, I don't like depending on others. But if you're the only one who can change this situation...
Gee, detective.
For these past 5 years, Camilla's the only thing that kept me going. I can't go meekly to the chair now. I hate to ask this, but would you mind saving me?
I'll try. The key to getting the Justice Minister to stop the execution is his wife and daughter. But is there a way? I assume it is to go to the telephone and go to Lady Red's apartment and see what the fizzity-uck is going on over there. Just as I thought. This little girl is safe in her bed. Murder, execution, jailbreak, betrayal, and now kidnapping. This last link in the long chain of sad fate lit a fire in Jode's heart, and the chance to turn it all around is right here in this room. Gee, good grief! As long as there's any possibility that it could be his own daughter who was kidnapped, I doubt the Justice Minister will call off the execution tonight. The key to dispelling the Minister's doubts is now in bed coughing. And I need to use this key before that prisoner van arrives to pick up our death row inmate. My darling angel! Oh, just listen to that cough. You naughty thing. Did you leave your nice warm bed to go out into the night to play? A daughter after my own heart. But I must confess, I didn't even notice you were gone.
I didn't go out to play. I went to buy Papa a birthday present. He said he wanted a new lighter.
But there's no reason to go out this late at night.
But my fever finally went down. I could barely move before that.
But look what it brought you. Your fever's worse now than ever. Here is to the feverish passion of my darling angel. Clink.
Mama.
Yes, darling.
You're a bitch. Let's call Papa and wish him a happy birthday, even though it's already past midnight.
Not tonight, Amelie.
I hate you.
Amelie wants to call her father. Now, if I can just make the use of that feeling somehow, that would surely bring the Justice Minister around. So we got a beep beep boop on the telephone. Let's see if we can. How are we gonna do this? Oh, I guess that's how it works.
The phone.
Huh?
Amelie, I told you you couldn't call him tonight.
Why not?
Listen to me, Amelie. Your father is about to make a big mistake. I want him to reconsider.
What do you know about him, Mom? He's the one who's the Justice Minister, you know. All you do is write weird novels.
Excuse me, ma'am.
What do you mean, weird? How dare you disparage my romantic expressions? Now you've really made me angry. You really have. How do you expect me to forgive such an insult? There. I'll be keeping my eye on you now, so you won't do anything else mischievous, like calling your father.
I hate you.
I can hear you, you know.
That's the point.
Oh shit! A rat!
Whee!
Yo, what's Ratatouille gonna do? Oh? Oh. Well, well, having a good time, are we, little rodent? Sweet dreams. Good lord! Did you fancy the vintage, my whiskered friend? Bro, she decimated the rat. Why does this lady have such an arm? Oh my god, what the frick? Oh my, we just killed the power by frying poor Remy the rat. Oh my god. Oh heavens, a blackout at a critical time like this. This chandelier just narrowly missed the back of my head. I love the thrill of romance, but I don't need these kinds of thrills, thank you. Later, you gonna drink that? You just put a match in your mega pint. Wow, would I want that to burn brighter? You gonna let me do anything? No. Should I just do it again? Oh wait, on her head. Thought I was onto something. I thought I'd knock her out. Hey, there we go. Amelie! Amelie! Help me!
I'm so weak.
Oh my god. What is going on here? Amelie, help! Look! Do you see this? Please help! Oh, bro, no way. No way, bro! Ah! Oh. Swing, brother! That is not enough. Ah, the rat! Remy's still alive! He's still kicking! Let's go, Remy! Yes! Remy pulled through!
Oh, goody. Excuse me a minute while I call Papa. Okay, Mama? It'll be just a minute.
Don't you dare, Amelie! I won't have it! Get me down!
Nope.
Hello? Papa?
Ah! Amelie! Is that you?
Of course it is, silly.
But I heard they said you were... Oh, no, never mind. It's nothing.
Silly old Papa. Happy birthday!
Birthday? Oh, right. It was my birthday today, wasn't it?
I'm sorry we couldn't celebrate tonight, thanks to mean old Mama.
Oh, your mean old mama! You mean your mother? What is she doing right now?
My stubborn mother is all kind of tied up at the moment.
Get me down!
She needs to be taught a lesson for causing us so much trouble.
No, Amelie. I'm the one who was wrong. Could you tell your mother I'm sorry?
What do you have to be sorry about?
I was just about to make a terrible mistake, but it's all right now. You're still young. There's a lot I can't tell you right now. The job of Justice Minister is very complicated, you see.
He like de-aged by 10 years at least.
But just remember, we're always the most important thing to your mother and me. Did you do something naughty to your mother? If you did, I want you to apologize.
I don't think I did anything, but okay, I'll apologize.
That's a good girl.
Okay, Papa, have a good night. I love you.
I love you too, Amelie. Good night, sweetheart.
Mama? I'm sorry.
My goodness, why the sudden change?
I guess I was wrong about you. I didn't understand.
Oh, Amelie,
I thought all you did was write those weird novels.
that makes me a little sad.
Papa said the job of Justice Minister was complicated.
Yes, your father is very, very complicated and difficult himself. That's why I couldn't talk to you about most of it. But you're right. I shouldn't treat you like such a little girl anymore. You're growing up after all.
And I promise to stop calling your novels weird and try actually reading them.
What? Oh, maybe you better wait until you're a little older for that. Do you think you could let me down now?
You know, I would love to do that, but I'm just feeling too dizzy and sick right now. Ooh, woe is me. Ugh.
All of a sudden, everybody's getting along again. It's such an abrupt change. I can't really understand it. Is this what family is all about? I don't know where Camilla is, but at least now the Justice Minister's doubts are dispelled. I think I'll go back to his office, where everybody is waiting for the prison van. The atmosphere in this room is very different now. It seems to have an air of unfocused anxiety. I get the feeling something big is going to happen.
I just found out that my daughter is safe. I'd like to express my gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for my daughter's sake and for mine. Hey, you hear that, baby? No need to thank us. Mr. Minister, it was nothing.
What did he do?
Of course. There's still the matter of the other kidnapping victim. But is that really the only thing that troubles you, Mr. Minister? Let me think in peace until the prison van arrives.
You know what? Let's see what he's thinking. Hello, Justice Minister. How about you finally admit I do exist?
That thank you I expressed. That was meant for you.
Huh?
You're a ghost, aren't you? And you have the power to control and manipulate people, don't you?
No, I don't have that kind of power. I can't control you.
We've actually known, you know, for a while now. But I had no idea there were the powers of the dead. Of ghosts.
Known? Known about what?
We knew about the existence of someone who could control others. A manipulator. That's why your execution order caused me so much anguish, Detective Joad. Why don't you just tell us everything you know? Yes, I suppose I should. You need to hear it all. All about the huge mistake this foolish man made. There were some cases in this country right now that are under a top secret investigation. Of course, you wouldn't have known about them, Detective Joad. Right, they don't share too much top secret information with inmates in cells. There are 3 prisoners, including you, in the special prison you just escaped from. All these cases have certain points in common. The rock singer who leaked national secrets in his lyrics during a TV broadcast. The curry-loving fellow who took the chief commissioners hostage at the Metro Police Department. Neither of those men had a motive for their crime, and both of their crimes were impossible. The curry-loving fellow had no way of knowing how to infiltrate the commissioner's office, and the rock singer had no way of knowing the national secrets he leaked. The Special Investigation Unit submitted an investigative report to me on them. They concluded that these men's criminal acts were not of their own volition. But how could that be? The theory the unit came up with was the existence of a manipulator.
A manipulator, huh?
That's when the special prison was established as a facility to research that theory. Those past several years, investigator Cabanella has been studying these cases. He has he? Manipulating somebody into committing a criminal act, according to the inspector. The first case of its kind was a locked room murder involving our nation's best detective. Are you trying to say I was manipulated somehow into shooting Alma? I appreciate the theory, but unfortunately, I don't recall being controlled by anybody. It's just not possible to manipulate others' behavior like that.
My powers certainly don't work on living creatures.
That's what I thought when I first heard the theory too. However, I was seriously mistaken, and it proved to be a big mistake. I suppose everyone here has the right to know. I'll speak out loud so that Inspector Cabanella can hear this too. There's something I'd like the 2 of you to hear. It's about a mistake I made. Inspector Cabanella, when you first made that report about a manipulator, I'm afraid I didn't believe it at all. Impossible, I thought. But I was wrong. That kind of power does exist. And I learned the truth of that firsthand. A month ago, I signed the order to carry out Detective Joad's execution. However, that act wasn't of my own volition. I was being controlled. What are you saying, baby? You never told me about this, Mr. Minister. What's going on? This document. What am I doing? No, I mustn't sign it. Oh, no! Wait, don't not delivered that document! That was when it started. That was when all of my fear, despair, and suffering began. At the time, it didn't even cross my mind that I was being manipulated, and my memory of the event was only hazy at best.
So the memory being manipulated doesn't clearly remain, huh?
Signing execution orders is part of the Justice Minister's job. At the time, I just thought my psyche was rebelling against the task. But the next day, it dawned on me. I remembered Inspector Cabanello's report on the existence of a manipulator. As a Minister of Justice, I couldn't admit what had happened to me. I only signed the execution order because I was being controlled. If something like that got out, the nation's judicial system would crumble. Besides, I had no evidence to present that I had actually been controlled. So in the end, I couldn't admit to anybody what had happened.
I suppose, but it sounds like an excuse. You should have at least told us, Mr. Minister.
Yes, I know. I should have. I was running away from the problem. And then my wife found out I was worried about something.
Well, if you go around with an expression like that, I guess it's bound to happen.
I explained it to her, and she was dead set against the way I was handling it.
If you don't withdraw that order and tell everyone the truth immediately, I'm moving out.
And then, with the kidnapping tonight, with it thrust under my nose like that, I could no longer deny my mistake. This manipulator comes upon us from somewhere unseen. That's why I've been keeping my distance from everybody.
So that's why you've been telling people to stay back. So there's somebody else besides me with the powers of the dead. I'm fine with that. I mean, after all, I already knew about a certain desk lamp. What I'm not fine with is the fact that the person can control and manipulate living creatures. That's certainly not something I can do.
But I never imagined that tonight I would find out where this kind of power comes from. Inspector Cabanella, this manipulator is a ghost. A departed spirit. A spirit? As a matter of fact, there's a ghost talking to us right now. What? What did you say? Jode, don't tell me you can hear this ghost too! I'd say the only person who can't hear him is you. Spirit! Ghost! Gods in heaven! Excuse me, Mr. Minister. I suddenly had some urgent business to attend to. I recommend you think long and hard before making your final decision, sir. Inspector!
This is Lynn. I'm at the park.
We've been waiting to hear from you. Have you found the evidence?
Well, the situation here is kind of difficult to explain. Cecil, if you're there, come to the park immediately.
It looks like your help is needed, Cecil.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? I never saw that coming. The minister was being controlled, huh?
I'm truly sorry, Detective Jode. I had no excuse to offer you. Maybe it was all for the best. What do you mean? If you had never been manipulated, you would have never believed the power existed. It just goes to show you, you never know when even the worst things can turn out good. Detective Jode, I don't know what to say. Alright, Cecil, you better go help Lynn. She's a good kid, but she's got a habit of taking on other people's problems.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. She's in Timsick Park, right? Timsick Park, the site of the little lady Camilla's abduction tonight. The place where an important piece of evidence, the music box, was hidden. I wonder why our lady detective is looking so dejected. At least she isn't dead. But what did she find? Huh? What's he doing here? Oh man, whoa, there is a lot to this area. Good grief, bro. What is this tree? Who was just throwing stuff up here? You know what have really, like, completed it? Is that they had a pair of tennis shoes that were tied together hanging from the tree. Oh, well, there's a boot. That's close enough, I guess. Oh, there you are, Cecil. With a dejected expression, I gather. You didn't find what you were looking for? Right. I can't find the music box anywhere. But I found something else instead. Something horrible. Horrible? What is it? Oh my god, another person died. It's the freaking person that talks really fast. Stop the park from being turned into a housing site. Protect the park, the Rock of the Gods. You there. You're talking to me, aren't you? I have some leaflets for you, leaflets I know you'll be very interested in. I urge you to pursue it thoroughly, examine it in detail. Never mind that right now. Do you remember your name? My name. What does my name matter when there are more important things to worry about? Okay. Come on and study these tracks with me, brother. Come and learn about the Rock of the Gods with me. The night is no longer young, it's a fact of the matter. Daybreak is approaching very fast, but we are very young. Look, I don't have time to get involved in your way of life, but I am interested in your way of death. So let's go back to 4 minutes before your death. Oh, God. Oh. Bro, what is happening?
I've located the target, Beauty. A girl of the right age, coming out of the right apartment building at the right time. Yes, my dear. I'll be ever so gentle, and I'll nab her and come right back to your side. Good evening, young lady. Won't you come with me?
I can't scream like a child, so just imagine it, okay? Oh gods, what do I do? What should I do? I have to do something. What in the world? What just happened? Oh, that's Mino. Mino? I'm talking about the way it changed direction. Did you see that? Yes, I did. We witnessed it with our very own eyes. The power of the Rock of the Gods. That was the power of the gods. The power of the gods saved that little girl. And then that same power very deliberately crushed you instead? Yes, precisely. That is called the mischief of the gods. Was it the mischief of the gods, or was it a ghost trick? Nah, it couldn't have been a ghost trick. No ghost trick could change the direction of something that heavy in midair. Wait a minute. What if there was somebody with much greater powers than me? How are we going to do this? Are we going to have a spirit fight? Look at that! There's another flame besides mine. Ooh, so is that the flame of a god, is it? But hold on. Your spirit is the flame too, isn't it? Yeah, so? Pardon me, but are you a god? I sincerely doubt it. At the last minute, that big lump of concrete made a huge swing to one side. That was probably that flame's doing. Who could it be? I definitely believe it's either a god or somebody god related. Maybe I better try talking to this person. I don't know if that's gonna be a great idea, but you know what? You do you, buddy. What the? This person with much greater powers than mine. It's you? Oh, it's the dog? Wait, does that mean huh? Does that mean the dog is dead again? Cecil! Oh my, it's Missile! You look well for being dead. Did you see what I did? I did it! I tried really hard and I did it! I saved Miss Camilla! Are you telling me I was done by a puppy dog? Missile, what's going on? How did you get the powers of the dead? I'm glad you asked. After Miss Camilla went out and you left, I worked like crazy to make my own path, and I did it. Oh no, he made it out. Okay. I was about to say, internal brain bleeding was not on my checklist. And then here, at this park, I found her at last. Yes, you guessed it. I barked. You bet I did. And I went running after her too. Dude, are you serious? And then I guess I died. When I came to, it was all over. Poor Miss Camilla. Crushed under that big scary lump.
Oh, what have I done? I'm so sorry, little lady. Please forgive me.
Miss Camilla! I had to rescue Miss Camilla. It was up to me. I cried out from the depths of my heart. And then... Yo, wait a minute. There's something emanating from the right. There's something there. It showed it for a split second. Something is buried. I can't tell you how surprised I was, but I bet you understand, right? Better than probably anyone else could. And I remember what you did for me, how you saved me. So, you went back, right? Back to 4 minutes before the little lady's death? You bet I did!
What?
Now's my chance, I thought. I saw the core. I don't know, it looks pretty far. I stretched out my paw towards the core. Oh, how I felt at that moment. I'd love for you to be able to feel it too. So go ahead, Cecil. Go ahead and try it for yourself. Yo, he's got stupid reach. I can't believe it. How could you connect over such a great distance? Well, they don't call me Missile for nothing. Huh. And so you manipulated that Mino thing and threw it aside? Right on top of my head. Well, no, actually. I can't manipulate things like you can, Cecil. You can't? Then how did you? I didn't know what to do. Then I happened to see something out of the corner of my eye. And it had a cord too. A single leaf hanging from the tree. I tried reaching out to the leaf. What in the world? I can't manipulate things, but apparently I can swap them. As long as the two things have the same shape, that is. Swap things with the same shape? Go ahead and try it. Press swap. That's incredible. So that's how you saved your mistress, is it? I'm so very sorry. My powers were too meager. Meager? Because you see, I saw one more. Hey, you're right. If Mino could be swapped again with that, the disaster probably wouldn't rain down on my head. So, why didn't you swap them, Missile? I couldn't. I can stretch out my paw a little further than you can, Cecil. But this was just too far for me. I couldn't reach it. Womp womp. I must admit it's a fascinating spectacle of death, if I do say so myself. I kept retrying over and over, seeing if there was anything I could do. I bet there's something you can do now. Huh? If we work together, you and me. Cecil! You think so? I don't plan on letting anyone die in front of me tonight. Do you think you could help me? Of course! Naturally. Interesting. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on with the tree with the rugby ball. 4 minutes from now, we'll swap Mino with the leaf. And then you have to swap Mino with something else. But with the rugby ball where it is now, Missile can't reach it. So that means I have to move it closer somehow. Looks like you and I'll have to work together on that one, Missile. Okay, I'm ready! What do you think of my lightning fast pace? I wish you'd knock it off. That's what I think. We don't have time to prepare. I think we're gonna have to find a way to stop him from running. As far as I can see, the only way to do that is to use the playground equipment. Huh. Stop him with the equipment, huh? Maybe I should rethink things here. How am I supposed to stop him from running? I feel like I don't have enough time to do that. So the basketball needs to be on there. I didn't see this coming. It looks like I'm just destined to fly through the air like this for a while. This might buy us some... Okay, yeah, buy us some time. See, bro spinning, doing his thing. Swapping those is not gonna matter. So I have to drop this. Oh, wait. Let's see if that does it. Maybe I was just missing the final piece with the umbrella. Let's see. Oh, did you see that? The tree branch, it shook a little. Maybe it just needs a little more weight. Wait, do I actually put the tire on that? I guess it really doesn't matter what would go in there, would it? Since it's just going to be swapped. Yeah, there we go. Well, with that ball there, I think I can do it. Okay, watch me, Cecil. Here I go. The finishing touches. You can do it, Missile. Swap Mino with that ball. And now Mino is right where he belongs. We did it again, didn't we? Didn't we? Now nobody has to die. Except for one brave little somebody. I guess you're right. I'm still dead, aren't I? Now let's go back and save your life. Wait a minute. What is it? Now that I think about it, I think I want to stay dead a little longer. What? When I was alive, I couldn't even help Miss Camilla when she was in trouble. I want to be able to protect Miss Camilla. And to do that, I need these powers I have now. I see. Even I wish I had powers like that. Hey, we just saved you. Don't you wish your life away already? Oh, of course, you're right. Okay, Missile. Have it your way. By the way, Mr. Reckless Youth, there's a certain detective who needs that music box you found. When you get back to the present time, could you give it to her? Certainly, you have my word. Let's go back then, to the present! And so Camilla ended up in the hands of the kidnappers. We weren't able to change that part. Layla listened to my story without saying anything. I'm sorry. I wish there was something else I could have done. No, you did the best you could. I'm sure she's alright, after all. After all, she has me! Missile? Are you in there? Miss Lynn, leave Miss Camilla to me! I know I don't look like much right now, but I'm sure I can help her. Uh-oh. Miss Lynn! Well, that was very short-lived. She said, I'm going to leave it up to Missile. Yuck, 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 yuck. Oh, I have something to give you. Aren't you forgetting your promise? Oh, pardon me, pardon me. My apologies, this is for you. Oh, pfft, dang, where'd you put that thing? You kept the music box safe, didn't you? Thank you. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? He's mesmerized by my beauty. Hey, the cat's not allowed to get your tongue. Excuse me, but are you? No, it couldn't be. Have we met before? Aren't you? Aren't you that little girl from that last time? I'll never forget it. It was 10 years ago in this park. Missile. You're standing just above the Rock of the Gods now. Take a good look at that monument. Rock of the Gods, Timsic Park. The Rock of the Gods? The rock is buried in the ground right there. It's been there 10 years. Ever since that day it flew down from the heavens, it showed us a miracle. So this rock you've been talking about is a meteorite? Precisely. It dropped from the sky on that day about 10 years ago. Surely you know all about that. Me? That day I just happened to be passing through this park. I had no idea that that day would change my destiny. The sun was going down, and through that gloom, I heard the scream of a little girl. Imagine that I am screaming like a little girl right now.
Now just calm down and drop that weapon.
Stay back. If you come any closer, I'll shoot her.
I peeked out fearfully from the bushes and saw some shadowy figures. I didn't see the face of the criminal clearly. I know I should do something to help, but I couldn't move. The tension was just so thick it was painful, and when I couldn't stand it any longer, that was when it happened. The sky suddenly burned bluish white. When it crashed into the ground, the meteorite gave off a shower of beautiful fragments. And then I saw it. One of those beautiful fragments. Pierced into the criminal's back. The judgment of the gods was brought down on the park that day. 10 years ago, the little girl that was you was saved by the Rock of the Gods. Oh my, I can't believe it! The Rock of the Gods was given the name Timsic. And still today, it lies sleeping deep in the park's earth. I never knew about this Timsic. I always thought Detective Jode was the only one who saved me. You were very young then. When you passed out from the shock of being taken hostage, of course you wouldn't remember. But that's funny. A huge incident like that should have caused quite a stir. It's strange you never heard of it, Lynn. It is, isn't it? But now that I think about it, I remember I didn't want to think about what happened. I avoided the news and I never came back to this park again. That's why I didn't know anything about it. The meteorite was named Timsic after the name of the park that it fell in. Then the Rock of the Gods was forgotten. Now an awful thing is happening. They're talking about turning the park into a housing site. And so I've taken up residence in this park and I'm trying to appeal to the people. Protect the park, the Rock of the Gods, that is my mission. I see. So 10 years ago, the little girl that was Lynn wasn't aware of the meteorite. I get that, but Detective Jode, on the other hand, there's no way he didn't know about this Timsic thing. And if he knew, what was that confession of his all about? Anyway, now that we have the evidence we need, we decided to meet up again at the minister's office. Besides, there are a few things I want to ask Detective Jode. We found the music box, Detective Jode.
Good job, Lynn. I knew you would. Once everything has been resolved, I had wanted you to give this to him.
Him? You mean Inspector Cabanella, right?
I don't suppose he'll ever forgive me.
Detective Jode.
Now then, let's get this thing open. There's a certain knack to doing this, you know. See? You should find scorch marks on the grip.
Scorch marks?
When Camilla built her contraption, she used a special kind of string. It's a kind magicians use. It burns up in an instant and disappears.
Why would little Camilla use something like that?
I don't know. Maybe because she's a detective's daughter. In the case report, there were mention of some scorch marks. I took the gun out of the frame and replaced it with the picture. If you remove the picture, you should find scorch marks behind it on the frame too. Those marks should match up with the ones on the gun.
In other words,
it proves the contraption existed there in that room that day. And it didn't work the way your little girl intended, is that right? Exactly. Some cowardly culprit modified the design. But that angle was never brought up in court. And so, as a justice minister, I must call out the execution at this point.
I knew I was right. It wasn't Detective Jode. Now we can finally prove that.
Cecil, if you hadn't come to my cell tonight, I would have been gone by now, without ever having known any of this. This is what I deserve. That's what I told myself these past 5 years. But things are different now. Thanks to you, my eyes have finally been opened.
I've come into contact with a lot of people's lives, and I've gotten involved in their fates. And the only reason I was doing it was to regain my own lost memory. But things are different now. We're connected to each other somehow, and I just know it. And that's why I need to ask you a few more questions. in order to find out the truth about us. Cecil told me all about it, Detective Jode. About the manipulator.
And it looks like this manipulator really did a number on the minister, too.
Please don't pick on the minister. If he dies again, I'm the one that has to save him. Cecil, do you think that's what happened to me too?
Don't tell me. You're manipulated too!
That image of the one who shot me. But now I see the possibility of a new explanation. That contraption was a birthday surprise for Camilla's mother, wasn't it?
That's right.
Something's been bothering me about it. I feel like I know that device from somewhere. No surprise there. You lost your life once tonight because of that machine. Right? I knew it! See, Detective Jode?
No, I'm afraid I don't see.
I told Detective Jode about it. Told him about seeing the exact contraption tonight in a completely different place.
A junkyard on the edge of town. Never would have even heard of that place. And what's more, I've never told a single soul about that contraption.
Detective Jode, you must have heard this name before. Timsic. The meteorite that fell in the park 10 years ago. You were there.
So you found out about that, did you?
I hear that meteorite saved little Lynn's life.
That's right. I couldn't do anything to help Lynn that day.
But in that case, I don't get it. If that's true, doesn't it mean you didn't steal somebody's life away? What are you talking about? Detective Jode, you told me that 10 years ago. The person who killed the perpetrator in the park. It was you. What? But it was the meteorite.
I wasn't lying. I stole that man's life away. No question about it. It was entirely my fault. I was just about to shoot him. I would have shot him in the next instant if the meteorite hadn't come. At that point, I was already a murderer.
That's not true. You were trying to save me.
Lynn, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's really it. On that day 10 years ago, a different incident happened in another place.
Another place?
Yes, in the police headquarters interrogation room. The worst sort of incident. A suspect who's being questioned escaped.
I didn't know about that.
I happened to be there in the detective division, so I joined the chase. Fortunately, or I guess unfortunately, I was able to track him down alone in the park. Hold it right there! I fired a warning shot. I wanted to catch him bad. That warning shot made him panic. At the time, I was a young and green detective, brandishing my sense of justice like a sword. It made him panic and got you involved, Lynn. It was all my fault. All I could see was my target. I couldn't even see you. I'm so sorry, Lynn.
So the man who grabbed me died that day.
These last 10 years, I've never forgotten his face. And then a few years after that, when my life Alma died in such a mysterious way, I thought it was fate, my punishment for what I'd done. I painted pictures in my cell, nothing but portraits of people's faces. All the faces of many people I'd met in my life, and I didn't want to forget. And tonight, I finished my last portrait, the final face I wanted to remember. The final face of the man in the park that day.
What? Wait just a minute. That can't be. I saw that painting. I saw the face you painted tonight. It was my face. Are you telling me I was the man in the park that time?
That face of yours is the face I saw 10 years ago. The face of the man whose life I stole. Of the man who was pronounced dead at the scene.
But hold on, Detective Jode. That can't be true. I just met Cecil for the first time tonight. And he died right in front of me.
The name that I know the man in the park that day by isn't Cecil.
What?
For the first minute I laid eyes on you tonight, I've been wondering, who in the world is this guy? Mr. Prime Minister. Inspector Cabanela, where are you? Just be quiet and listen, alright, baby? This is our demand. What? Demand? Our demand hasn't changed. The execution must be tonight. Once we've confirmed it's been carried out, we'll release the hostage. What are you talking about, Inspector Cabanela? And you know it wasn't my daughter who was abducted. Does it really matter who the hostage is? A life is a life. Even if it's the daughter of a death row prisoner. Oh! Once the criminal gets the punishment he deserves, a hostage will go free. Carry out the execution immediately and wait for our call.
What is it, Mr. Minister? You look even paler than ever.
What in the world? What is going on? Inspector Cabanela!
The rock of the gods that fell from the sky 10 years ago. It twisted the fate of many people and started a chain of tragic events. And even now, the chain continues to grow ever longer. Inspector Cabanela's call proved that to us. And the greatest mystery of all has risen to the surface. Who is this me I've been chasing all night? Who am I? Ooh, we are getting to some good story points. I am so excited. So I don't know who the manipulator is. The only thing I can think of is Ray. So maybe Ray was manipulating Cecil, not Cecil's corpse after he died, which isn't possible because he's been dead for, what do you say, 10 years? There is so much for us to uncover and figure out next time. And for those of you that are watching this on YouTube and you want to happen to see this live so you don't miss all this craziness, you can go ahead and follow my Twitch. It is going to be down in the description below. Hopefully you all enjoyed and hopefully you have a great rest of your night and a great tomorrow too. Take it easy. Farewell. Until next time. Bye-bye.